What is up, everybody? This is Shack Central, and welcome to episode 1 of the Lighty Challenge. In the previous video, the introduction, I explained what the challenge is. It is essentially, if you're new, to play in the SSF solo self-found game mode in Path of Exile, and to collect one of every unique item in the game, of which there are over 1,000. In this episode, I'll be going over my build plans. I'll be briefly displaying a document that I made to kind of track the uniques, and we're going to get started on the first character, making our way through the campaign. Enjoy. Alright, so as I get going here, I just wanted to take a brief second, just go over kind of what I'm thinking as I'm getting started, and show a document that I put together real quick. And then we are going to basically just get going. So the idea is the first character, obviously this is a long-term goal. I want to be able to get through the acts efficiently, have good enough single target to take care of bosses on the Atlas, and basically just develop out the Atlas as much as possible so that later on I can go kind of pick and target farm specific div cards, maybe different uniques, things like that. I have some ideas, and I basically just want to use the first character to get set up as well as I can. And so for that purpose, I'm planning to play a Glacial Cascade Saboteur, a minor build. So this is essentially what the first 100 points or so are going to look like. Probably while I'm leveling, I'm going to just bring this over a little. Instead of going up all the way around, I'm going to bring this over a little bit, go kind of down through here, so I can get to some of these juicy nodes kind of earlier, and get a little bit of resists and things like that from this spot. So that is the early plan. And I also wanted to show that I will have in the description here, I've made kind of a, let me turn on night mode for that because that looks horrendous in bright white. So this is basically a document that shows all of the uniques that cannot be acquired through just random drops on the ground. Basically, if you can't get it just by killing a mob, if there's some specific vendor recipe for it, if it has to be in a specific the league area, like from a previous league, it's in here and it's listed how you get it. So obviously something like Hero's Truth would be only from synthesis areas, so Tavukai can only go Legion areas, things like that. So I basically made a list of all of them divided up into the item types, and I'll be using that. Obviously this is kind of a later thing for the early game. We're setting up the Atlas, we're taking whatever drops we can get, and then this will give us a way to farm them later, and I may just fill these in color-wise. I might make my own copy, fill them in color-wise as we go. But that is pretty much it. So as a quick reminder from the previous video, I did 5 trials already from the character that I started before I decided to do the Lighty Challenge. So 5 trials are done, about 4 or 5 heists are done in the Heist SSF League. I got rid of all of my markers, all of my contracts, everything like that. So we're basically starting fresh, just we don't have to do the first 5 trials. And the only thing that's actually a hindrance to me is I was using that early level 2 unique heist to specifically target farm some item level 2 wands for a strategy that I was going to use later, but we can always go back to the coast and kind of get those wands later on. So with that being said, I'm going to go here, I'm going to take this POB, put it on my other screen, and we are going to get going.
It's nice not being dead yet.
At some point I will farm the Onigoroshi, but man, that is not going to be this day. I've done it once and I'm not too keen to do it again shortly, but it's going to be something that we'll do before the end of this league here. It has literally just occurred to me that I can just use the in-game clock here and track when the uniques drop instead of having to display this big awful timer everywhere. So I'm just going to get out of that real quick. No harm, no foul. And we can already make our...
Hello.
Ooh, I was going to say make a +1, but that's that's actually pretty good. Ooh, there's an essence. there we go.
What little help I
So
can
we'll
offer.
trade the vendor recipe, if you didn't know, is a magic wand, a ring of some type of element, and whatever element it is, that's the type that you're going to get the damage to spells with, and an alteration, and you get back something with flat damage to spells. So now, this should just be silly. I mean, early on, flat damage to spells is just ludicrously good.
Your frightened heart echoes from the stones.
Big, just
Well
needs
then.
more places to stick a blade.
So the silver coins are going to be very useful because Navali is going to be giving us a huge amount of the unique stuff that we need, from like faded uniques, prophecies that give us specific things that we are really going to need. So as many silver coins as we can get, we are going to be, we have use for them all, let's just put it that way.
My first dance with a lady of quality. Pity she let herself go.
Alright, Act 1 down. No uniques found in Act 1.
That has
Wisdom.
Alright, so even though I have not found any uniques yet, I did add a little bit of a thing I worked on. So I think I showed this earlier on, but this is all of the uniques that are like drop restricted, and this is just straight up, well, theoretically all the uniques. I know it's missing some, that's why I put that it's fluid up here. But basically this should track, so if I, let's say I get an Abyssus, I hit yes, it goes to 1. But you'll also see that on the tracker down there, that it goes to 1 as well. It's just basically grabbing a little capture that picture. So that is something that we'll be using, but more importantly allows me to track on screen from the start. So even though we don't have any yet, it does allow me to track it, and I'm kind of excited about that. So. Alright, and here we go. Alright. And we are officially through the first 2 acts with 0 uniques.
Enough of this.
Tried. Been debating doing essentially just a super early lab. The reduced reservation of Mind's Throne is kind of big, and the life regen is like huge. Nothing, I mean really nothing. It appears we're on the hunt for both uniques and 4 links, and I'm not sure either of them exist in the game. I think we might 28 shift over to Pyroclast for a bit, see how that feels. I think it's going to feel pretty good. I have not found a single chance orb. Alright, so first heist on this character is going to be super simple, mainly because
good stuff.
we're going to be doing the one I got from Karst, which is basically level 10, so we're going to go in, clear it real quick, hopefully get some current. What I'm basically looking for is, it's a unique quest, so I want to get it done anyway, and I'm basically looking to get some currency, hopefully a chance orb so we can pick up Pyroclast Mine.
Fireflies before a job.
Hey, there we go. Well, we're getting our first unique here. Given that it's in the chest. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's the first one. First unique of the challenge. I'm really bad with the names based off of the artwork for a majority of them. So I actually don't know which one that is. Oh, we're gonna get like a bunch. So that's That's 3. That's the silver branch.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Everybody knows the silver branch. I think the other one is fen coil, but I don't know what that first one is. Leather. First chaos orb as well. Wow, what a heist. What a spree. No issues getting out, and here we go. Alrighty. So here it is. Let's grab a couple of these so we can sell off our stuff to this guy and also get a couple more wisdom scrolls. So here we go. First 3. Boom, boom, boom. So Realm Shaper was number 1, and then the Bloodthorn, and then Silver Branch. See how this goes. Oh. So as you can see, turns out with Ball Lightning, it's not a Mind Skill on its own. We're just going to pretend I didn't even do that. Oh boy. And I believe that's all 6. So let's go see. I'm kind of interested to see if we can get this done this early, because picking up the reduced mana reserved and plus the regen here would be absolutely massive. So here we go. Super early. Level 28 lab. What is happening right now? Never in my life have I full cleared a lab room like this before. Overall, this is probably, I was about to say overall this is a bad idea, and immediately got a 4 link. So never mind, this is the best idea I have probably ever had. I mean, we did it. Ooh. And we will become a Saboteur. Alright, we want reduced mana reservation. So we also get a 1 to regen. We don't have to roll anything for Ignite and Shock on flasks or anything. And we get some movement speed. So this is really nice to get done early. Thinking this is going to handle Piety just fine. Yes, we will see. Yeah, that handled it like insanely well. I do plan on being, at least early on, somewhat stingy with my fusings. I think that the vast majority of builds can handle content fine as long as you build a build well. And a lot of them can handle pretty far into the game on things like 5 links and slightly suboptimal gear. Just need to play a decent build, and you need to know how to do the basics of building. It's one of the things that kind of excites me about this series is just the idea that you really have to play like every league. There's nothing you can really leave out if you're trying to collect everything, since pretty much every league introduces new uniques, new ways to get them, things like that. So it'd be very exciting to get in touch as much as possible with all of the league mechanics. Alright, so partway through Act 4, the only uniques we found have all come from one single heist. Ooh, there we go. Oh, if I survive. Is there a rogue exile in there? I could have sworn something just did double. That must not have been. I could have sworn I just saw the double strike animation. Whatever. Alright. Sweet. Ares Bite. So one of the benefits of playing like a mine build, one of the similar benefits of playing something like Vortex, which is part of the reason I love it, is you can be super stingy with currency. You really don't need a lot to get up and going and have it feel decent. It may not feel like, you know, you're a world ender, but it feels pretty good on very little currency and very few uniques. So it's a really good way to save up for either, you know, if I happen to get something like insanely build enabling that drops and you want to re-roll, it's good to just save up to be able to roll early maps and get your progression going, because that's really the hurdle is like right now getting 2 maps, and then the hurdle is going to be progressing through the map tiers. So being able to use your early currency at the very least on progressing through is a big part of why I like starting with Vortex or Mines. Should be easy peasy.
Understand what it means to be nightmare.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's what happens when you start reading text. I really want to get high impact mine. And unfortunately, it takes gardens to do it. Oh, I got deleted. Alright, so for our first one, I think I'm just going to take Spreading Rot. I mean, I think it's the most popular one. It's one that I could see myself using.
Where was I?
So there we go. Spreading Rot. I don't know why it took me to the Katava fight to realize I should definitely be using Frostbite. Damage. Frostbite. Yep. Yep. Should be fine. And just like that, I believe we are ready for the second half of the campaign. We are capped. Just a tiny bit over capped, but definitely capped on gear. We ended up level 43. A little bit higher, and we've got definitely some heists to run. So I'm looking forward to the last half of the campaign here as we transition and get ourselves toward maps. Sweet.